Made with EasyVid, freeware at ezvid.com. Today we are going over the top 10 wireless routers, and we are going to start by heading over to our list at ezvid.com/top 10 routers. We are going to start with number 10, which is the Airport Extreme. You can share your entire wireless network with up to 50 users, so this is ideal for either at home, the school, or at the office. It's selling for $160 and was released June 21st, 2011. Users like this router because you can connect multiple devices, and for most, the signal remains stable and fast. It pairs easily with external hard drives and is ready to go in minutes right out of the box. If you're on a Mac, it practically installs itself. However, for some, the connection was intermittent and is not fast in the slightest, and for some, the wireless range is very short and they wish that it had better further coverage. I believe it should have better and further coverage, so these might be defects, so keep that in mind, it happens. Now we are going to head back over to our list at ezvid.com/top 10 routers. And let's continue on to number 9, the Asus Dual Band Wireless 600 router. It's selling for $95 and was released on October 30th, 2010. Users say that the installation is a breeze and both wireless and wired connections work great, with the wireless having a large cover area, which people like, of course, and other devices work flawlessly when paired. But on the flip side, several people had connectivity problems and others experienced random crashes, which more than likely sound like defective units. Pretty much every router on this list will have a defective unit. So get cozy. Now let's head back to our list at ezvid.com/top 10 routers. And next on our list, number 8, is the Linksys E1200 wireless router. It's selling for $43, very reasonable, and was released on April 4th, 2011. Users seem to agree that the setup time with this router is very fast, averaging less than 15 minutes, and it lacks blinking lights, which for some of us with routers in our bedrooms is amazing when you're trying to fall asleep and don't want to feel like you're staring at a strobe light. And it's also stable and has a really good connectivity range. A couple people found issues with the installation being stalled due to error messages, and others had defects, which is understandable, but many agree that the customer service could be amped up, and instead of them pointing fingers at the consumer, they could resolve the issue faster, which is ideal. And now back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. We are now on number 7, the Netgear Wireless Dual Band Router Premium Edition, in case you were wondering. It's selling for $100 and was released on July 6, 2012. Again, this is another router with an easy installation, and many agree that it covers a wide area with reliable connection, and people like that it comes with its own SID name and unique password for better security protection, and it saves you from having to sit around, like wasting an hour trying to think of a clever router name before just caving and naming it the Bachelor Pad or something. It also connects to multiple platforms with no lag, including PCs, Apple devices, printers, scanners, etc. For several users, this Netgear would continuously drop the wireless internet connection after a short period of flawless use. But since it's obviously not supposed to be working the same as a dial-up modem, these are probably defective units that need to be replaced. So, good thing there's always customer service, right? And silence. Now let's go back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. And we are on number 6, the Cisco Linksys Wireless G Broadband Router. I almost got it, dang. It's selling for $50 and was released on April 11th, 2006. A little old, if you want to use that word. Users like this Cisco router because it's reliable, strong signals are consistent, and for most it's something that you don't have to think or worry about because it just works awesome all the time. However, for some, they would totally disagree and say that it's not reliable. For them, the connection drops all the time, to the point of having to reboot the router several times a day. That is insane. You should not have to reset your router every day, which equals possible defect, which means you might want to call that 1-800 customer service number. Now let's head back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. And we are moving on to number 5, we're halfway there, with the Linksys Dual Band Wireless Router with USB. It's selling for $125 and was released April 4th, 2012, which you will see now. It seems many people looking to purchase this router are doing so because the router they had before was really slow, and many agree that this router is a massive improvement and a great device because the signals are strong, it covers a large area, and many love that it makes video streaming much faster, and when you're gaming there's no lag, which is great. There are several users who don't necessarily have a major beef with this router, but with Linksys as a whole because of this firmware update that pretty much gives parents more control to spy over their kids. They think that it's a little too unprivate for them, and they don't appreciate that. So keep that in mind if you're eyeballing this router. And now back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. We are on number 4, the Netgear wireless router. It is selling for $184 and was released May 16th, 2012. People like that it installs in minutes and has a consistent strong signal, so if you're crouched in the corner of your closet with your laptop, phone, tablet, TV, trying to get a signal from your dinky little router, you might want to consider this Netgear. Move to the couch or something, man. Spread out. Pretty much everyone reviewing this router is using it with multiple devices and say that this router does a great job at taking on that task, and HD streaming is fast too. Several users had the misfortune of receiving defective units, which is noticeable by a repeating pattern of the green power LED light blinking, which could translate to firmware corruption. But even more misfortunate people receive back-to-back defects, which is sad. I mean, I've gotten 2 bad apples in the past, but that doesn't mean it's a horrible product. So keep that in mind when you are shopping around for wireless routers. Now back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. We have reached number 3, the Securify Almond touchscreen wireless in router. It's selling for $90 and good things, people are saying. Setup is a breeze and it takes very little time. It doesn't even come with a manual, it's so easy. Wi-Fi signals are really strong and have a good throw area. The touchscreen is a nice feature, though you don't really use it, but it looks cool. And even everyone agrees that Almond's customer service is pretty awesome, which, let's be honest, is not something you hear often. But the bad things, there have been a few defects, and for some it didn't strengthen their Wi-Fi signal, which is unfortunate for them. But we would still recommend this though because it has lots and lots of top reviews, and you know, touchscreens are like the cool thing now, I guess. Now let's go back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. And we have reached number 2, the MediaLink wireless in router. It's selling for $50 and has a nice sleek saucer shape to it, so it's easy on the eyes. The good about this MediaLink, users say it's quick to start up and using and has nearly perfect signals all the time with really high speeds. So pretty much just put it in a corner and forget about it. But a few users experience the same bad issue, which could be labeled as a firmware issue. The router would continuously default to the Arizona time zone, and for some the router would set all features to default, erasing saved security information including the SID and encryption, which sounds slightly terrifying. But we say the good outweigh the bad, and you can't beat a price of $50, so there you go. Back to our list, ezvid.com/top 10 routers. We've reached number 1, the Asus Dual Band wireless router, if Edward Scissorhands had a wireless router. It is selling for $140 and all of the antenna are detachable, if you were wondering. Users like how strong the signals are, and it covers a pretty large area, and it also features 2 USB ports for extra sharing, which people really enjoyed. And for many, the connection is pretty much always solid, and you can use it quickly and easily with gaming devices, if that floats your boat, which is really nice. But unfortunately, several people received defects, and that's pretty much the only bad thing about this router, which isn't even bad, just bad luck. And to check out our full list, head over to ezvid.com/top 10 routers.